Okay, the South Union Township monthly meeting will now come to order. Please stand for a moment of silent prayer. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the roll call, Mr. Vernon. Here. Mr. Scott. Here. Ms. Shipwright here. Okay, next item, Roadmaster's report. Mr. Scott, would you please let everybody know what we did this past month?
Yes, sir. In the month of September, we ended up in August, we rented a small milling machine for a skid steer, which we ended up purchasing last month, and it's changed the way we're doing patches. It's a lot easier and it's a lot more effective the way we're going to be patching roads. What the mill does is it tears off the old asphalt up to 2.5 to 3 inches thick. So instead of us just putting it in the hole that's there, we're actually cutting out around the hole. And if it needs base, we're putting base in, and then we're putting in top. So it's definitely a lot better than what we've been doing in the past. So we've been doing a lot of bigger patches. You'll see that we're doing by hand. We did a one up on St. James. It was a bad spot in the road. We did almost 100 feet up there, and it turned out really nice. Doing our normal mowing, getting caught up on that, painting guardrails and street signs. We hauled the compost 13 times this month. We had the street sweeper out 4 days. We also installed a drain over on Dove Drive. It's been water with like a green moss that's been on the road for years, and we finally took care of that and ended up tying that into the storm drain. And one thing no one wants to hear, we did get the plow trucks out, started going over them to get them ready. So hopefully we don't need them for a while, but we have them ready to go. That completes my Roadmaster report.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Vernon?
No, that covers everything.
Yeah, I would like to add just a little bit from what Jason said. We purchased the machine for the milling. I agree with him. It's something we probably should have done a long time ago, because some patching of roads, it's essential that we're able to mill them. And with that machine, and it will certainly give us that capability to provide a more thorough and effective patch on the roads. We just started today, we're also looking into the possibility of expanding the township's capabilities and potentially paving roads. I don't think we're ready to take on a turnpike or an expressway to pave, but we're working with the city of Uniontown. They've been doing paving of their roads for the past 4 years, and we've watched the quality of their work over those 4 years really improve and increase to the degree where it's a very professional job. So we're going to, we start today, we're going to be experimenting and educating and training our personnel where they could perhaps do the same quality, the same type of job. And we also are looking into sharing the costs in operating the paving machine that the city has, and I think there's some potential. And for the main reason, it is going to save our taxpayers money. The cost of paving today compared to what it was 15, 20 years ago is so much higher than what it was, and it limits the ability of the township to pave many roads that we have in the past. And by potentially doing the paving, or at least a better part of the paving, or a good part of the paving by our township crew, they'll lower that cost, which will allow us to pave actually more roads. As what the people need to be taken care of. So with that, we'll be giving you reports as time goes on and we look into this into the future. Okay. Next item, Code Enforcement Officer's report. Mr. Vernon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A report for the month of September by our South Union Township Code Enforcement Officers. Again, we have one full-time officer who works 7 to 3:30 Monday through Friday. We also have a part-time officer who works 3 days a week, patrolling the township, also patrolling the parking at the mall and Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot area. Our full-time officer gave out 4 letters for repairs of property. He gave out 2 for burning complaints. Again, you can only burn on Saturdays from 8 to 5. It must be a controlled burn. It must be out after 5 o'clock. High grass and weeds, we allow up to 10 inches. We had 8 letters went out for the month of September. Quad complaints, we had 2 official complaints. I'm sure there's more than that going through the township. Citations issued by our officers, 14. Our full-time officer traveled 1,692 miles, and the other officer traveled 1,600 miles, a total of 3,292 miles throughout the township they traveled. Also, we had 11 fire lane tickets given out and 13 handicaps. We are trying to enforce that, especially the handicap area. People complain people don't have, you have to have your parking handicap sticker on the rear view mirror, or also have a license plate with the handicap. You must have them on so our officers can see them. I think that covers everything for the township for the code enforcement.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vernon.
Anything, Jax?
Just the burning. I don't know if you guys used to burn. I've asked, and Bob said not as long as he can remember, but people have it in their mind that you're allowed to burn on Wednesday and Saturday. And I get calls after calls on my cell phone about people burning on Wednesday evenings. You can only burn on Saturdays. So I don't know if that was, Bob said it's been that way as long as he can remember. It was on
No, that's the way,
Saturday.
when we enacted the burning ordinance that limited the burning of only certain materials such as wood, paper, that ordinance was enacted approximately 34 years ago. So it's been in existence for at least that
But
long.
every time I go, people will say, "We used to be able to burn on Wednesday," and I said, "Well, not for 35 years."
I think they look around to some of our neighboring municipalities who seem to burn almost every day of the week, and for some reason they think that they can do as well, but not here in township. Matter of fact, the city of Uniontown, they're not allowed to burn at all. And I think the less burning there, the better it is for our environment. And if you've ever lived next to a neighbor who burns every day, you know how valuable having an ordinance that limits and prohibits that from happening. Okay, anything else? All right. Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting.
I'll move. Go ahead. You move. I'll second.
All right.
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of last month's meeting. On the roll call, Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Vernon.
Yes.
Schiffer, yes. Okay, next item, comments on the agenda items. Are there any comments from the audience on the agenda items? Okay, if not, we'll move on. Okay, item number 9, update on Sheepskin Trail project and economic benefits from the Great Allegheny Passage Trail and how it relates to our application for funding to construct the Sheepskin Trail in South Union Township. This is something that a project that we took on a number of months ago. And for those who are not familiar with the Sheepskin Trail, it was proposed back in 1998 that a trail basically following the old Penn Central Railroad from Connellsville to Point Marion be used for and construct a trail, a hiking and bicycling trail. Unfortunately, the only portion of that trail that was constructed was from Connellsville to Dunbar. The Connellsville intersection is actually at the meeting point between the Sheepskin Trail and the Great Allegheny Passageway, and that's the trail that's turned out to be very popular and highly used from. It goes from right now from Allegheny County, Pittsburgh, all the way to Cumberland, Maryland. And once we started to look into developing and constructing this portion in South Union Township, I know I became like the things that I certainly wasn't aware of. And it makes a lot of sense of doing the trail. And actually, we should have thought about doing this a long time ago. We have a very good reputation as far as the township, our recreation program, and this is something that falls right in line with that. But we're finally doing something, and hopefully it's going to serve as an impetus for other municipalities to do the same thing. The trail will be running from the Clusses in that area where the shirt factory is on Bark Mill Road, basically follow the course of the old Penn Central Railroad, and it will run to the community park at Hutchinson in South Union Township, and that's where the Sheepskin Trail portion. We have phase 2. The trail will hopefully be constructed from the park there down along the Uniontown Bypass and Bromfield Road up to where the Fort Gaddis homestead is located. We're looking at possibly taking anywhere from 1 to 3 years to make this happen. But the thing that I wanted to point out about the Sheepskin Trail and how it relates to the Great Allegheny Passageway. In 2007, a study was conducted by the Lower Highlands Visitors Bureau and the Allegheny Trail Alliance. And in the 2-year period of their study, and they did have a very in-depth study, the economic development that was created by this trail in 2007 alone was $33 million that brought into our community along the passageway. And over a year period to 2008, that went from $33 million to $40 million. So that's a substantial increase. That's a lot of money that goes into to these counties where the trail runs. It's certainly needed here in Fayette County. Tourism in Fayette County, I think most people don't realize the significance and impact, and it is probably the greatest element that generates our economy here in Fayette County. We have so much to offer in tourism that constructing this trail will just further highlight, and hopefully that once we do our section, there will be other municipalities. And I know I'm talking to the county commissioners here in the last few days, Mr. Ambrosini. I know how dedicated he is to the project, and the county is making funds available for the studying, the planning, and also making these funds available to other municipalities if they'd like to join in and do the Sheepskin Trail that's located in their municipalities. I think today, with the emphasis placed on health and fitness, things like these trails are just expanding throughout the United States. Pennsylvania is one state that has many trails on the planning stage, and that shows you, and I think, the indication that trails will even play a greater part of our recreation and a part of our community, and also help trying to stimulate our economy as well. So we have also, the township, just recently tried to take advantage of some of the money that's derived from the casino here in Fayette County. There's $1.1 billion that's being disseminated, distributed through and handled by the Fayette County Commissioners, the Redevelopment Authority, and several other bodies that they've taken applications from various municipalities, organizations, requesting funds to be allocated for different things such as stimulating the economy, also helping with recreation and things of that nature. We submitted an application in the tune of $70,000 we've asked for. That money will help possibly in all 3 phases of our project. That's the Sheepskin Trail, the stub that will run from the Township Park in Hutchinson to the Fort Gaddis project, or a project that we're conducting, trying to bring in funds to help restore Fort Gaddis project. That's another aspect of this 3-pronged approach that we've taken to this recreation job that we've taken on. I'm not going to go in and explain Fort Gaddis, but it's a very valuable historic piece of property in Fayette County that a lot of people are not aware of the history and background of it. And so We're hoping that the people making these decisions and allocating these funds will take this in consideration. Not only will it provide additional recreation, it will also add, I think, to what I've talked about earlier in regards to stimulating and bringing economic dollars into our county. Gentlemen, anything to add to that, or?
I did just have a new resident to the township ask before the meeting about the joggers on Township Drive and Cinder Road. And he just moving here, he just come into the meeting, he passed some high school kids that run cross country. And this is another thing that, will be great for the kids. And I know I talked to one of the coaches, and he's really excited that they will have a place to run that's not, into traffic. And it's, I've had complaints since I've started about, there's blind turns on Township Road, and it's definitely not the safest place, to run. So this sheepskin trail will give our residents somewhere safe to run or walk or bike. So I'm excited to see it finished.
Yeah, and I tell you, these trails are so popular. It's throughout the United States. It's a lot bigger than you really think, and there's a reason for it. And I think it's time that as this board of supervisors that take a special interest in recreation, that we carry through this plan that we're trying to put together. Mr. Vernon, anything? Or?
You covered it quite well. I get Mr. Shepard put many long hours into this project. You deserve credit for getting it started well.
Well,
your expertise in recreation.
We're working together as a team, and I think that's one of the reasons why our township has been successful in doing so many things over the years. Okay, with that, we'll move on to the next item. Actually, we've touched upon it. That's the local share account. That's the casino money that I spoke about. Just one further note to that, I think that the funding, the awarding of the grants, approving the ones that are going to be lucky enough to be approved, will probably take place in the next couple of weeks. So we'll keep you posted on that. Okay, moving on to item number 11, open bids for the 2014 CDBG funds road pavement project.
The township received 3 bids. This is the first one I'm going to open. Clearwater Construction Incorporated from Mercer, Pennsylvania. The total bid for the project is $127,365.
$865?
$365. $127,365.
And I think we're asking for 1,213 ton. I think that's what it
Confirm that. Yes, 1,213 ton. Yes.
is.
Everything else in order to bond?
That's what I'm looking for. Yes, there is a bid bond here. This is different. Yes, the bid bond is in order.
$95 a
What was
ton.
that per ton? Was it $95 per ton?
It is, let's see,
Ridiculous.
$105.
$105.
$105
A ton.
is the unit price on that one. The
86.50 last year.
The second bid is from El Grande Industries.
This might make me think about concreting our roads instead of paving it.
And
He was 87.50 last year. Budget.
the total bid from El Grande Industries is $109,655.20 for 1,213 ton at a unit price of $90.40.
A little better.
And the bid bond is here, and it looks to be intact. The third and final bid is from Danielle Campalong of Folino Construction from Oakmont. Folino Construction, sorry. The total bid from Folino, and that was Folino, is $114,264.60 for 1,213 ton. Unit price $94.20. And there is a bid bond intact. And those are the three bids.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, there they are. The three bids as submitted, presented by our solicitor. All right, gentlemen, if there are no questions, what are the wishes of the board? Chair would entertain a motion.
Last year, we had, Algrani did it last year, it was low bid. It was like $87.50, so that wasn't too far off. And then we were happy with their
Yeah,
work.
they did an excellent job. I mean,
Yeah,
they
they
did a
did.
lot more preparation than other contractors have done in the past that I've noticed. And we had very good success with those. So I'll make a motion to accept El Grande's bid of $109,655.20.
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
A motion has been made and duly seconded to award the CDBG Amosite project to El Grande at the total price read and introduced by Mr. Scott.
That's the 2014, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll put that as part
Those streets would
part
be,
of your motion.
what we make as part of the motion, Barton Mill Road, Michael Drive, Upper Shapers Corner, and part of half of Township Drive. But the four streets for that.
Chair
1213 town. I'm sorry.
Chair would entertain a second on the motion.
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Okay, motion has been made and duly seconded to award the bid to El Grande for the paving project. On the roll call, Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Vernon,
Yes.
Ms. Schiffer, yes. Motion carries. All right, on a more cheerful note, item number 12, scheduled trick or treat night. This is time of year we go through this, we get requests. Some people want it, some people don't. We've been doing it for many, many years, and we've never really experienced any serious problems. So, gentlemen, what do you think we'd like to do on this?
Well, I called North Union to see, we usually try to do it the same night as North Union, and they were doing a Halloween night, which is Saturday, October 31st, from 6 to 7:30. I did put a post on Facebook the other day that, when we were going to have it and the times, and I started a little controversy with, I put at the end, try and stick to your neighborhoods, and people were trying to get upset, and there was a couple comments on there, but the only thing that I live in a neighborhood with one entrance in and out, and what happens, people start, you turn your 5 or 6 year old loose and he can run from, I live on a cul-de-sac, so it's not a main road, but it got to the point a couple years ago where, there was 100 cars coming in our neighborhood, so, cars are passing, going through, in between cars, and kids are running, it's just not safe, and that's the only thing I meant by it, was just, try not, if you live on a rural route, then yes, you have to go to a neighborhood, you have to use your car. But getting into these, subdivisions, it's not safe. And that's the only thing that I meant about, try to stick to your neighborhood. If you do live in a subdivision, I know my neighborhood, there's probably at least half of the houses participate. and there's plenty, candy, and the kids have a good time. But we did have a couple close calls, and we got a couple complaints last year just about people driving from house to house in these subdivisions. So that's all that we ask. We just want everyone to have a good time and to be safe.
And also, if you're going to participate, we ask you to put your porch light on. If you turn it off, that means you don't want to participate. It shouldn't bother you. We also will have our code enforcement, we'll have 3 code officers out, along with the supervisors will be out patrolling also. We'll ask the state police to patrol. You gonna make a motion to that at that time, Mr. Scott?
Yes, I'll make a motion to make trick or treat night Saturday, October 31st from 6 to 7:30.
Second. I'll second this motion.
Motion made to second to establish trick or treat night on October 31st from the hours of 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. On the roll call, Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Vernon,
Yes.
Mr. Schiffray, yes, motion carries. Okay, next item, announce hard to recycle. I don't know one of you two guys.
I have it here
You
in
guys,
front of me.
you could-
Yeah.
Jason.
They have this every year. I know, I don't know if it moves every year. I know Wharton Township's had it a couple times. It's been out at the fairgrounds a couple times, but it's the Fayette County Hard to Recycle Drop-Off Event. It's going to be on Saturday, October 17th from 9 to 2 p.m. at the Wharton Township Municipal Building. That's up on Route 381, where I think Joe Dogg's, the intersection is there. It's right behind Joe Dogg's. They take everything. There is one note on here. If you do have used motor oil or kerosene, hydraulic oil, fuel oil, any of those items, they will take them, but those must be delivered to the Goodwood Recycling Center, which is down at 5 Romeo Lane, down by 84 Lumber. At the same times, I'm assuming, it doesn't really say on this sheet, but up at Wharton, they'll take used tires. They're $1.50 a piece just for tires, no wheels. Large truck tires will be accepted, but they're a higher price, starting at $8 each. Steel appliances, any scrap that you have, they're going to take all those. If you have something that has Freon in it, they will have a Lynn Capon will be there from JC Homes, which will recover the Freon, so you can scrap those items. Old electronics, TVs, computers, radios, they're taking those at $5 a piece. Smaller electronics like cell phones and stuff will be $1 depending on the size. The only thing they don't accept is hazardous waste and paint cans. There's no hazardous waste or any paint cans. If you have any questions, you can call the Fayette County Recycling Hotline at 724-430-4884. I'm going to have our secretary put this on our website tomorrow. It's South Union Township, twp.com, if anyone wants to look at it. That's all.
Thank you, Mr.
Chairman.
Scott.
Nice job.
Okay, next item. Comments from the public. Anybody care to make a comment? Now's the time. Or forever hold your breath, please. Okay, no comments. Okay, the financial report. Mr. Treasurer.
Yes, sir. In the general fund checking account, $365,556.28. In the general fund investment account, $574,107.59. In the state fund, $125,124.22. In the hydrant fund, $7,230.42. The athletic fund, $7,429.73. The North Union, South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $14,549.98. For a total of $1,093,998.22.
Okay, any corrections? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the next item, motion to pay current bills.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to pay the following bills. North Union, South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $5,350. Our state fund, $14,195.97. Our fire hydrant fund, $3,560.34. Our athletic fund, $2,680.38. And our general fund is $279,677.84. That is my motion.
Second on the motion?
I'll second Mr. Vernon's motion.
A motion is made, duly seconded, but by Mr. Vernon as read. On the roll call, Mr. Vernon.
Yes.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Ms. Schiffer, yes, motion carries. One other thing that before we go on to the solicitor's report, I would like to mention, I left out earlier here. We announced earlier in the year that we had planned to do a commemorative plaque in recognizing one of the township leaders who helped take his township to where it is today, and that's regarding Mr. Frankhauser, his time and tenure here as a township supervisor, and even before that on the Township Planning Commission. Tom was a most valuable asset to this township, and with his passing, he's left a void that I don't know if we'll ever be able to fill it to the degree that what he brought to the table. But we recently cleared some of the undergrowth and some of the unwanted shrubs at the Hopwood Park, or located on Route 40 and Hopwood Fairchance Road. That's where we will be having installed additional and more up-to-date and more appropriate landscaping. And we're in the process right now of putting together a plaque that we will install there, recognizing, commemorating the park in Tom's name, and also a plaque will be reading some of the accolades, some of the things that he's helped accomplish here in our township. And hopefully within the next month or so, we'll have a formal dedication at that location. I know, Rick, you worked with Tom here for a good while. I'm certain you have some things to say about him as well.
Yeah, he was like an encyclopedia. If you need anything about the zoning or the planning, all you do is call Tom up, and you wouldn't have to even look at the book. He had it memorized. He was there for, 34 years with you before he passed away?
Yeah, 34 now.
Yeah, he enjoyed the job. He really did. The last couple of years, he slowed down a little bit, but he was still every day,
Yeah.
and he was the last one to leave.
Yeah, and he was a pleasure to work for and work with. But the one thing that I think that he brought to the table here in the township was his ability to work with the other supervisors, whether it be myself, Rick, or Mr. Coville. All our decisions were based on what was best for the township and the residents. And if that's kept in mind, and if that's the goal of a board of supervisors like ours, it will be serving the residents of which they should be served. And Tom did certainly play a big part of that and help make it happen. Okay. Jason, you have anything to add to that? I know you knew Tom for a long time as well. And
Well, he was definitely passionate about Hopwood. I know my dad's company did most of the work in Hopwood, putting the lights and stuff in, and he was always hands-on. I mean, he'd always be out there, even if it said on the blueprint the light was supposed to go here, he'd pull in and ask why you were putting it there, because he didn't like it there and he wanted it moved, 10 feet either way. But he always had the township in his best interest, that's for sure.
yeah.
He was a great man.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. With that, we'll move on to the solicitor's report. Ms. Delarose?
Nothing to report at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I do have something that I almost forgot about. Coming up very shortly is our election, our general election on November the 3rd. One of our polling places Southie number 1 is at the middle school off of Houlton Avenue, off of Dixon Boulevard. Southie and 2 voting district is at the Hatfield School up on Derrick Avenue. And Southie and 3 is at the Hutchinson Elementary School off of Hopwood Fairchance Road. So just to remind you, I had those 3 polling places. And I had, this past primary, I had 2 of my partners here, too, running for office. And Mr. Schiffer is unopposed in November, and Jason has opposition. So I wish both of you guys luck come November 3rd. And just hope we the citizens will pick the right person and make the decision.
Get out and vote. It's your civic duty.
Right.
If you don't vote and things aren't done the way you like to, you're giving up that right, I think, to express opinion. You can do it at the poll. Okay. Anything else? If nothing, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn at 4:33.
Second on the motion?
Second.
Motion made, duly seconded to adjourn at 4:33 by Mr. Vernon. So, Mr. Vernon, you get to go first on the roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Schiffber, yes. This meeting stands adjourned.